Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dolphin Swim Club. Beautiful day. Look at that pool out back there. And you're saying, what do you, and this, in fact, I haven't introduced my guest, who is Brian Lankin, and Brian and I, there's Brian. Brian's
Hello.
ready to swim, right?
Yeah.
Now, were you there this morning swimming? Or did you go
Well,
live?
the thing is, Casadia wants me to start 5:30 at Dolphin
I see.
in the morning.
Right, okay.
And I opened the store at 9:30.
Right.
So Northwest is letting some of the alumni swim at 6:30, and the Millville pool, Holly City, is letting some of the swimmers go at 7:30. So there's over 50 alumni swimming,
Oh,
so
wow.
we're spreading out
I
the
see.
training
I got you.
at the three pools. Because
Good.
I can't get there 5:30 because
Yeah.
what am I going to do?
Yeah, between that and when you open the store.
Yeah. So what I do is I go to Holly City from 7:30 to 8:30, and then I have friends that have businesses along the way.
Yeah.
So today I went to Crust and Crumbs. They're donating the sheet cake.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And,
Well, their food is fabulous. My God, their big
She
stuff is
donated the
great.
sheet cake last year and all the desserts.
Oh, that's really nice of her to do. you know.
So last year we had VHS on one side, Dolphin, YMCA, and since my fraternity was involved last year, we had Teak on the cake. So this year, Teak's not involved. It's I have VHS, Dolphin, YMCA, and then on the other side I have Swim in all the team colors.
Oh, that's nice.
So everybody's getting ready.
Now, this is the second annual, Brian?
This is the second annual event. Last year was a little different because it started as me trying to get revenge from a swim race from 10 years ago. And I lost 10 years ago at my fraternity brother's home pool up in Jackson, New Jersey. So I thought if I trained a little bit, he caught me off guard 10 years ago. I thought if I trained for like a half hour a day, I could beat him. But the only thing he did was he says, Brian, you got to do 2 laps instead of 1 at Dolphin, which is a meter pool.
I see.
And he got me at the end.
Let's George show that.
200ths of a second he beat me by.
I watched it last night. We sort of did a dry run last night of the show. And there's Brian, got the V on his head.
Yeah.
Right there.
I shaved my head into a V last year. This year, I'm going to shave my head into a 9 and 3 because it's class of 93
Oh, that's nice.
versus class of 92.
And that's your opponent.
That's it's Ben Felicelli from Central Jersey.
And you guys went to college together?
We went to college together. We pledged together. He challenged me 10 years ago at a barbecue. And if you see him, he was 5th in the state in track and running.
Wow.
But he kept working out throughout life. He never stopped working out, as you can tell by his physique.
Yeah.
Where I stopped working out after swimming in high school.
Stopping at Crust and Crumbs doesn't help.
Yeah, my mom was like, Ann was like a sister to my mother.
Oh, that's nice.
And the dining room was basically all her treats. See, I'm listening to the starter. He has earplugs in, so he can't hear the starter.
He's been getting ready for 6 months.
See, he can't hear.
Yeah, you got a little bit of a head start on that.
I guess he was worried about water getting in his ears. See, I had a good start.
Yeah, you sure did.
I got him by like a body length on the start, and then I do a freestyle turn. He does an open turn, and then I start fading. I still have him.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I take this breath coming up. Right there is where he got me. I shouldn't have took that breath.
That's still
But
really close.
He did.
Wow.
He realized I was donating money to the cause last year, so he did give me a check for $500 for some of my expenses.
Oh, that was nice.
Great guy. I mean, he came. He thought he was in the middle of a Rocky movie. He's from North Jersey. There's only like 10 teaks there, and there's over 250 people chanting my name. So he was like he felt like he was Rocky in Russia. So he was a good sport about it, and that's where it started. And then what happened was I coached at Dolphin in the YMCA over 10 years before I had kids. And a lot of my swimmers were like, well, we want to swim too. So I started forming relays. So we had Vineland High alumni versus Dolphin alumni versus Vineland YMCA. And we had 3 heats. And then the irony of it is all three teams had great swimmers, and some of them swam for all three. But the three finalists, one was from Vineland, one was from the Y, and one was from Dolphin.
Oh, that worked out nice.
So, and then the Vineland High School got first place, the Y got second, and Dolphin got third.
Okay. Who got first place?
It was Robin Daplin's daughter.
Oh, okay.
And a girl, Tia Bassano, which her parents owned a shoe store in Wildwood.
Oh, wow. I didn't know there was another shoe store around.
Yeah, well, I think they retired, but his best friend is Bobby Janiscoli, who used to own the Frosted Mug.
Yeah.
He worked for my father, Bob Janiscoli, at Al Shoes.
Oh, that's neat.
So their daughter, Tia, was on the winning relay. And then Brian Newton was the assistant athletic director at Vineland High, and he was the swim coach at Vineland High. He was on the winning relay.
Oh, okay.
And Eastern European guy that moved to America, Mark Nova Scotia, was the anchor.
Oh, that's neat.
And my cousin Brandon Maynard was a 5-person relay.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's what last year it was 8 relays of 5. This year more people want to do it. We're up to 11 relays of 5.
Oh,
So we're
that's
up to like
55 people?
55 people
That's
swimming.
fantastic. That really
And
is.
it's
Boy, you know something too, Brian, that's so neat with swimming is it's a lifetime sport. You know what I mean?
you
You're in
could
your
do
40s.
it. Like
Yeah.
I'm training 2
Yep.
or 3 days a week now for an hour a day in my 40s.
Yeah, yep. Well, I remember a fellow named Jaggers, Mr. Jaggers, I forget his first name. He and his wife were like in their 90s and would swim every day at the Millville pool. And, of course, talk about keeping in shape. I mean, that's a great thing to do. And, of course, he was retired, but Harry Jaggers was the band's name. Unfortunately, he and his wife, I think, were killed in an auto accident
Wow.
over near the Fitness Connection in Vineland.
That's terrible.
But, boy, just great people. But, again, I mean, let's face it, folks, if you go to high school and you play, let's see, if you're a girl, you play softball, and if you're a guy, you wrestle or something. That's not a lifetime sport. But, it really is. I mean, you could play softball in the backyard and stuff,
Yeah.
but to be able to compete.
Like football.
Yeah, football. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's a good point. It's high school, maybe college. Very few go to pros, and then you're done.
Yeah.
It's just
golf, tennis, and swimming
Exactly.
you can
Yeah.
do when
Yeah.
you're older.
Yeah.
And the thing is the Ploch family, they're big farmers in Vineland. John and Diane's son, their youngest child, died from a rare disease when he was 10 years
Oh,
old.
that's a shame.
So in his honor, Aaron Ploch, they did a 5K every year, raised a lot of money for their scholarships. Well, in 2020 and 2021, with COVID, they couldn't have their 5K.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
So this event last year was at an outdoor swimming pool, and Dolphin did host championships with 18 teams. So I'm like, in Coach Casadia, if he could host 18 teams,
Wow.
you could host a few hundred people for an alumni meet. And that's what happened. We had probably 280 people.
Wow.
And we raised thousands of dollars, between the gift baskets, the 50-50, and the entry, because we had a pig roast catered by Eastland.
Oh, that was nice.
So that was, people always get excited to have Rob Bono's food.
Oh, my God, yes. Fantastic.
And, it was just a mixture of swimming, charity, and then last year I honored people from my shoe donation with certificates. Coach Casadia and Coach DeMatti got Living Legend Awards, and Brett Bonadonna.
Mm-hmm.
So this year, Coach Casadia and DeMatti were my mentors last year in swimming. So this year I did my shoe mentors.
Oh, that's nice.
Frank and Lynn Martini.
Yeah, what's great people. Yes.
Frank was third generation business owner. His kids and his grandkids worked a little bit. They were 94 years.
And Martini
Shoes.
Wow.
And
You're only at 61. You're a young kid.
yeah, we're 61 at the same location. We're almost 70 altogether because my grandfather did have a shoe store.
That's right. I think you remember.
He took over Shapiro Shoes, which became Lankin Shoes, and now it's Van Edelman's law office.
Oh, okay.
That's where the building was at.
Right.
And my dad did start in 61. So Kaz and Angel Palladino are my godparents, and they were my parents' best friends. It's actually Angel's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, Angel.
And she told me she's going to be watching.
Good. Well, I'll tell you, I used to go in. It's funny because all the great shoe stores were in the 600 block of Vineland, so I could go.
3 shoe stores on one block.
Amazing, yeah. And everybody, the Martinez and Angel's group, they were just wonderful people. They're from Deerfield.
Upper Deerfield. Her brother had the strawberry farms, Horatio Farms.
I love her brother.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
He has 3 sons and a daughter.
Yeah. Anthony is the brother, and then Anthony has a son. Anthony who's a state trooper, and he has a son who's in the military, as well as being the one with the strawberries and the farming. Joe Spracio.
And let me tell you, they love to shop local. They come to my store, they sit down, I measure their feet, and they will just come for service.
Yeah.
And then, they go to LA Mail, and they do the same thing. They sit there, and they let Larry fit them up.
No wonder they always look so darn good.
Yeah.
They look like they walked out
They
of
love
a
supporting
fashion
local
magazine.
business.
Yeah.
And
they
come to me and Larry for service.
That's great. And boy, you know what? That comes back to the same thing, Brian. Look at all Brian does in the community. Later on in the program, we'll talk about him being the chairman of Vineland Downtown Improvement District, and his dad was, and all the things that he does there, and giving back. We'll talk about that too, about all the donations. They're absolutely amazing. This is a local person. This isn't the big box store, that could care less about the local community. They're just looking at the bottom
give back.
line. Yes, you do, which I'm very
And we
impressed.
network.
That's important too. You have to be able to do with the VDID and the chamber and everything else. And there's a lot of good businesses on Landis Avenue that do contribute. But I don't know anybody does any more than you do.
I'm blessed because my parents worked in the shoe business until they both passed away. And, they left me in a good position. We owned the building. And I just wanted to be able to, when Robert Romano was mayor in 2008, at my dad's funeral, he asked me to take my dad's board seat.
That's nice.
Since there was always a Lankin on the board. So at Christmas time, me and Mayor Romano said, you know what? There's people in need. We were doing 200 pair a year of shoes to people in need, privately. And then, the U.S. Army contacted me, and after we had war with Iraq, they said a lot of the Iraqi kids didn't have shoes. So I donated 200 shoes to the U.S. Army, and they donated them to the kids in Iraq. And they gave me an American flag to hang up at the store saying, nice, from the U.S. Army.
Uh-huh.
And then the other private thing I did was when the Amish market was next door, I got friendly with them, and I gave them 30 cases of kid shoes the one summer. So in 2018, Bob Bono's son Nick and Brenda Gravato, they owned Edom Foods,
right?
And a swimmer named Sally Savage and Cara Vivarelli from the community. All 4 of them said you should make this a public donation.
Uh-huh.
So next thing you know, 80 friends gave me money to donate 1,000 shoes.
Wow.
And Ann Hartman gave me money to donate 500 socks, so I matched her. We did 1,000 shoes and 1,000 socks.
Wow.
And then I got a lace sponsor. We got 1,000 laces donated. So what happened in 2019, Bombas, the national sock company, found out that what was going on, and they figured if they donated 2,500 socks that 2019, they were right. I had 300 friends give me money to donate 2,500 shoes to match the socks. And next thing you know, so I felt like this was getting so big. Over 300 people donating. I had so many volunteers going because the first year Mayor Fanucci did what Mayor Romano did. They had the city workers come. But it got so big, I couldn't get the City Hall to get 2,500 to 3,000 shoes. So I did reach out to all these different charities. I got Spirit and Truth Ministry, the Soup Kitchen, St. Vincent de Paul, the Veterans Home, City Avenue School in Bridgeton, Sabataire School in Vineland. Like, it just started getting bigger and bigger. Like, and so all of a sudden, 25 to 30 charities are picking up 100 shoes each and 100 socks, and then we're giving out like 10 like, if you go to my store, we had over 100 handbags. All the handbags are almost all gone now because I was doing like 30 handbags a year. So what happened is the people that were donating the shoes, socks, and the money all brought their jackets up. So like I have my varsity jacket.
Bring that out. That is really nice. Look at that, folks.
So
I love
I have my varsity jacket between my dad's 1955 championship jacket that beat Millville. That I know it's a sore subject, but it stopped the 33
that's
win
right.
streak.
I forgot the football. Yes, it did.
And the coach was going to get the car.
They didn't want the car. Yeah, John Barbos. Yeah.
And the Ed Sullivan show was supposed to be the next day. Yeah. So there's always an argument from Violent historians. What's the best football team from Violent High? And majority of people, historian-wise, would say the 39 team that went undefeated. And I think the star player from the 39 team was the coach of the 55 team.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, that's neat.
And I think the Tomo was his name. I'm pretty sure.
Tony
the Tomo.
No kidding. He was athletic director, too, later on.
I think it was him.
It probably was, yeah.
So I had my dad's 55 jacket up. I got this jacket up. And then I got my dad's varsity jacket up. Next thing you know, Robin Daplin brings in 8 jackets. And 8 hats.
Cool. That's neat.
And Mike Bradley brings in YMCA jacket. And guess what? Now where all the purses were is all jackets and T-shirts from Vineland.
Cool.
A Sacred Heart guy felt bad because it was all Vineland, so he brought a shirt. And my wife brought. She was a cross country star for Buna in the '90s. She brought 3 Buna jackets in. I got my teak jacket up. So instead of I'm basically going to donate all the handbags. And in its place is all memorabilia. And people brought Eagle jacket in and Sixer stuff. It's all like South Jersey and Philly sports.
Well, I'm
pretty proud of that.
I just realized I could see from my side the 100-yard fly, but now as I see on the TV, the 200 intermediate. Is it intermediate? Is that what?
Well, here's the thing. When part of the main event is class of '92, which was Casadia's last year coaching boys swimming at Vineland. He lost his first swim meet in 1974, and he retired undefeated in Cape Atlantic, 180 and 1 loss. So he had 180 wins in a row after his first loss.
Wow.
All the way to 1992. So my senior year, Charlie Gaudio became the coach. So that's why the last event is class of '92, the old guard with Casadia.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And Patty Robbins was the assistant coach on that '92 team.
Right, his teacher, yeah.
And '93 is the new guard, so it's like the old versus the new guard. And this is the joke. When Gaudio became the coach, I always wanted a varsity jacket, but Casadia and Gaudio always put me in the same events. 50 free and 100 fly.
I see.
But I figured I'd impress the ladies. I figured if they saw 200 IM and 100 fly, I'd be more of a stud.
Yeah, not a straw. You still are, you know?
I put the 200 IM on there. So what Gaudio says was, "Oh, you're a 200 IM guy?" I said, I told him why I did it. He's like, "Well, I'm going to make you swim it at the Cape May pool." And the Cape May pool, I think, is involved with the military.
Right. Yeah.
It's twice the size of Vineland's pool. Wow. So my dad never really went to away meets because he was always at the store.
Yeah, understandable.
But I think because the Cape May was involved with the military, for some reason he went to that meet. Maybe because it was my senior year too.
Yeah.
So I'm like hiding in the locker room scared because I never swam the 200 IM. And he's making me swim it because of the jacket at the Cape May pool. My dad's like, what are you doing in the locker room? I said, Dad, I'm scared to swim this 200 IM. He says, get out there and swim this 200 IM. So, he ripped the Band-Aid off. And so it's a funny story. I was 53, which was the event last year in the 100 butterfly, but I had on the jacket 200 IM. So
how did you do? Joke. How did you do when you swam the 200 IM?
I did all right. I did all right. I mean, I was a good butterflyer and freestyle. Cascadia, because my dad was a good football player, I think he had that football butterfly mentality. Because to be butterfly, you got to be tough.
Yeah.
And when I was not feeling good or having a bad day, I would try to hide in breast and backstroke, and Cascadia would be like, Lankin, get back in the butterfly lane and learn from Tom Forrest.
Yeah, Tom's a heck of a swimmer.
He was the first state champion from Vineland, class of '92.
Wow.
And his brother
Tim.
His brother Brian Forrest.
I see.
Had a national record in the 100 breaststroke, and Tim Forrest was the father who we're honoring this year, who passed away right after the alumni event last year. He actually used to call me up a couple times a year. He'd be like, Brian, I'm proud of what you're doing. He had a real surly, deep voice. He's like, next year, I have 2 daughters and 2 sons. He's like, my dream would be to get a shore house the week before the swim event and the week after, have my 4 kids together, and they all come to the swim event. And Brian came last year, and he was one of my biggest helpers. And he passed away like a month later.
And so
I don't want to pressure Tom to come back because he lives in Florida. He's not on social media. And, I'm like, if he wants to come up, let him come up. But Mike DePalma and his sister, Monica DePalma, are swimming. Mike's in the class of 92. Ryan Ploch, who is class of 92, is swimming. And then Jerry Spall.
Oh, yeah.
He had a daughter class of 93 and 92.
Oh, that's
so
great.
The sisters are going to be swimming against each other.
Dad, yeah.
And they had an older sister, Lindley. So there's some of the people I'm honoring. I'm honoring Mayor Fanucci's brother. And I'm honoring 2 people that were originally from Millville, but they moved to Vineland, Heather and Adina Dehana. I know you know.
I do. Their whole
parents,
family, super people.
You know the girls. I mean,
you don't get better family than the Dehanets. And I said the mother, Mary Linda, was my favorite dental hygienist, but she went over to the do pediatrics. So
she was my kid's hygienist.
Yeah, isn't that something? She's just a great family, and the girls were so talented. They weren't only great swimmers; they were great softball players too. Because I had them in Millville.
Adina was a college softball player, and Heather was a great swimmer at Michigan that transferred into crew.
Wow.
And Heather is the assistant coach at Dolphin Pool.
Oh, that's nice.
And so I have Heather and Adina together in a relay with Brian Forrest, with Brett Bonadonna. Now all 4 of them are in the Vineland High School Hall of Fame.
I was going to say, they're real class.
And the 5th kid, the mom was the YMCA coach, Northwest coach, and now she's an assistant at Dolphin. Noelle Bennett, her son Mark Bennett, is in the relay too. They're the favorite relay.
So that's the 5?
That's the 5 that people got to worry about.
Them, I think.
Yeah. I think if class of 93 beats class of 92, we might skip out on the because what I did was we have 4 heats, and so the final event is going to be the 4 heat winners. So I got Bagel U to give gifts for the 4th place.
Right.
I got Crust and Crumbs to give gifts for the 3rd place. Crumbs Cafe is doing 2nd place, and Eastland's doing 1st place.
Wow.
And then each winning person of the relay is going to donate 25 socks to Spirit and Truth Ministry. Matt Milam's going to come.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And they're going to present the socks. So 125 socks will be donated to people in need.
That's great.
And, we're going to honor people from the community. 3 living legends and people who have passed away. We're going to raise a lot of money for the Aaron Ploch Memorial Fund, and it's like a swim reunion.
Yeah.
We got a swimmer, Brad Gandy, who was Casadia's best swimmer from the 70s.
Oh, that's neat.
We got Greg Horton from the 80s.
Uh-huh.
And and Brian Forrest is from the 80s. So we basically have 70s
80s and 90s, huh?
in Patty Robbins was a great swimmer from Millville High.
Yeah, she was.
Her
Yeah.
maiden name's Corson.
Yep.
And she's in the class of 92 relay because she was their coach. So we have a nice spectrum of swimmers.
You sure do.
And
That's fantastic.
I'm pretty proud how it seems like it's getting bigger every year.
That's great.
And I have a feeling we had 280 people there. Casadia basically told me last year, stop promoting it, Brian, because you're going to pay for trolleys from St. Isidore's. If you fill the parking lot up, you can't park on Elmer. So what I did was I started shutting it down because I just didn't know how big it was going to get. And I'm like, oh, he's been coaching forever. I took his advice.
Yeah.
So we did fill up the parking lot. We didn't go overflow. But this year, because I think COVID's less of a concern and we're honoring more people and more people are swimming. And what happens is, say Craig Tubertini,
Yep.
he was a Vineland YMCA coach. He's like, Brian, can my 4 kids come? I'm like, Craig, it's a family event. There's no alcohol at Dolphin.
Yeah, right.
And my kids went last year and my wife. And this is what we want. We want parents, grandparents, kids, uncles, aunts, friends of the swimmers and the people that we're honoring to come support us. It's a really big community event.
It sure is. We're talking with Brian Lankin about this super event coming up on August 12th, right?
August 12th, a Friday night.
It's Friday night at the Dolphin Swim Club, and we'll be back to talk more about it and other things as well right after these messages.
I'm Brian Lankin, 3rd generation business owner, Al Shoes. Been at the same location since 1961, our 61st year. We specialize in work boots, work shoes, orthopedic shoes, baby walking shoes, and school shoes. We go up to a men's 17 and a woman's 13. It's $5 off 25 and 10 off 100 if you mention that you've seen this.
In South Jersey, we do things our own way. We say things out loud, face things head on, and never back down. And that's how we fight cancer. With the most advanced diagnostics, leading-edge technology, and a team of doctors who know how to treat your cancer. And most importantly, we do it right here at the Frank and Edith Scarpa Cancer Center, Vineland, and the Leading Edge Cancer Center, Mullica Hill.
Complete Care Health Network has some big news to share with you.
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day,
including our newest locations on Pearl Street in Brixton and High Street in Millville.
We're here with convenient, high-quality, and accessible healthcare services all under one roof.
We're here just a call or an email away.
We're here to provide compassionate care for you and your family.
We're here and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network, ready when you are.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
True. Welcome back to Around South Jersey. Jim Quinn along with Brian Lankin. And Brian's got a wonderful swim meet coming up at the Dolphin Swim Club for charity and with some fabulous swimmers from the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. And it's the Dolphin Swim and Athletic Club Alumni Swim Benefit, August 12th. And we will be there with our cameras to be able to...
Robin and Ted Doplin will be announcers.
They did a great job. Robin and Ted are just super people. In fact, I just saw Robin's this past Saturday at Jim Hurley's documentary that they showed at the Leavoy Theater. And then I see Robin out to the soccer with his granddaughter. My grandson are playing, I think, on the same team, actually, and just a wonderful man. And Teddy's a great kid, great guy, too. And, you know, Robin was athletic director. In fact, one night, I had Tony Cerace, Robin, and Joey Blandino all in here. Tony did.
I saw that.
Joe, just super to see what, and you know, you don't realize, folks, what an athletic director has to go through, especially at a high school as big as Vineland.
He was my assistant athletic director. Okay. I am honoring Robin Daplin next year.
Okay.
And his two daughters.
That's great. Yeah.
Now, both of his daughters were swimmers.
Oh, that's good.
And now they're both vice principals.
That's fantastic.
And the one daughter, Carly, was on the winning relay.
Oh, that is wonderful.
And I think her claim to fame is she's the only person in Vineland history to be a team champion in a sport all 4 years. Freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year, Vineland swimming girls were the state champs.
Wow.
And I think she was the only one to swim all 4 years.
Isn't that fabulous?
So in the history of the pool, the history of the school, 150 years, she's the only person to be state champ all 4 years.
Now, what do you think the reason is that Vineland has always been so good in swimming and dominated? What do you think the main reason was?
Well, Casadia's passion was...
That's what. Yeah, that's what I was expecting.
It's a farm town. Cherry Hill, you couldn't believe that we used to be able to beat them. And I think he started at Dolphin in the same year my dad started at Al Shoes, 1961.
Wow.
And Dennis DeMatti gets credit too.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think it's both their passions. They made it a swimming town.
They really did. You're right. I mean, Dennis, I love Dennis, and John, passion and drive and commitment. It's just there.
Casady got cheated with the boys because the reason why his teams from the 70s and 80s and early 90s were never state champs were because they had to go against private schools from North Jersey who would have kids from out of the country and out of the state. And they would recruit and have these powerhouse teams. And everybody had to be from Vineland. So he fought and fought and fought. So after he retired in '92 from boys and girls, he came back a couple years later as just the girls coach. They changed the rule.
Oh, good.
So all the way up until the early 90s, it was public versus private, and then it separated. And the next thing you know, the girls' team took off. And, I mean, they had good kids, good coaching, but the boys never got what the girls had, fair competition.
Yeah.
It was girls public versus girls public, where the boys, St. Joe's Metuchen, Christian Brothers, they were just monster teams.
Yeah, and they get to pick their players from wherever they want. You know?
And look, Blake Tribucchi went to the prep. He was in second place. His mom is actually, I think, the best swimmer out of Vineland. She would have went to the Lisa Iori.
Oh, sure, yeah, I know Lisa.
She would have went to the Olympics, I think.
Wow.
Her time in the 100 fly, I think, was a 55.9.
Oh my goodness.
And I think she had a YMCA record. Now this is when the swimsuits were changing and year-round changing. I think she had a YMCA record from 1979. I stopped coaching in 2000, probably 2009. She still had the record.
Wow.
And this is with all these swimsuits. You know, they used to go from the ankle to the wrist.
Right.
They banned them. But she still had the record. And it was just swimming in the summer and the winter.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know, so what I'm saying is Blake, the prep became a powerhouse. But let the prep swim against St. Joe and, and Christian Brothers, and let Vineland swim against Cherry Hill East and Shawnee.
Yeah.
And let, it's same thing with football.
Yep.
Let the bigger schools and the same number of kids go against each other. What's fair is fair.
Well, they have finally done that in football, where it's the privates.
All the sports should be that way.
Yeah. Well, I think basketball. I think you're right, but they should be, because it's unfair. As big as Vineland is and all the talent that's here, St. Joe Metuchen could go pull a kid from New York.
They were getting kids from out of the country. I know.
Wow.
And so the girls won 6 championships as him being the head coach, I believe. And he has the 180 win streak. And so Dolphin is the marquee pool in Vineland. Look, I'm friends with the Northwest. I'm kids from Capri, Holly City, Newfield. But you go to Dolphin, and it's a beautiful facility, And there's a lot of history with Dolphin, YMCA, and Vineland. That's why you have to have some kind of connection to one of those 3 teams to be a part of the swim event. Like Craig Tubertini and Patty Robbins went to Millville, but Craig coached at Vineland and Patty coached at Vineland High.
Right. Yeah, they had the tie to keep them there. Well, we can't wait till August the 12th. It's the Dolphin Swim and Athletic Club's Alumni Swim Benefit. Thousands and thousands of dollars will be raised for charity. And we'll be back to talk more about it with Brian Lankin right after these messages.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Complete Care has some big news to share with you.
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day,
including our newest locations on Pearl Street in Bridgeton and High Street in Millville.
We're here with convenient, high-quality, and accessible healthcare services all under one roof.
We're here just a call or email away.
We're here to provide compassionate care for you and your family.
We're here, and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network, ready when you are.
I chose Demarco Luisi Funeral Home because they treated me with respect and compassion. I couldn't have gone through all this if I didn't have Demarco Luisi by my side. They did everything that they could to make me happy, and that was important to me and my kids.
At the Demarco Luisi Funeral Home, we're here for you and your family in your time of need.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. Jim Quinn with Brian Lankin, and we're talking about a special event that's going to be coming up on August 12th at the Dolphin Swim Club, and it'll be a lot of fun. The Alumni Swim Benefit, and this is the 2nd year. It's Brian's baby. You put it together, your brainchild, and I'm proud of you. And it should be a tremendous turnout this year, especially now that COVID's sort of weaning away.
Well, you know what? When I became... I was always on the board. I was the downtown promotion chairperson. The first few years I was on the board because I'm a retail store, right. and I that was my passion. So then they asked me to be vice chairman about 8 years ago, and about 4 years ago, Bob DeSanto, our chairperson, got opportunity to be the chairperson of Cumberland County College, I believe, board, and he basically retired from the downtown board. He was on there for a while. They're like, Brian, it's your turn to step up. So, Well,
your dad was at one time too, right, the chairman?
Well, my dad is an original board member.
I see. Okay.
I don't know if he was ever the chairperson or not. I know he was vice chairman. I mean, he was
well,
on
he's
it.
One of the leaders, that's for sure.
He was on it for over 18 years.
Wow.
He basically was, he organized the Downtown Business and Professional Association. He had the checkbook, and then when it morphed into a national organization, Main Street, he joined the board, and he was on the board till his passing. So I've been on I've been the board chairman for 4 years now, so I'm like, I'm not going to be a figurehead. If I'm going to do it,
no, you tend to do things.
I've never missed a meeting in the 14 years I've been on the board, and I'm a leader by example. Yeah. When I coached at Dolphin and the Y, I never missed a swim practice. I never missed a day at work. I actually, national shoe organizations called me up, like San Antonio Shoe SAS, and they said that I was an example because I was the only shoe store that didn't close that sold SAS the whole pandemic.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So they explained at a national conference how I did it.
Good.
So I'm old school like my father. My dad never missed a day, and I never missed a day. Same thing with coaching and the downtown board. So I'm like, look, I'm a believer in leading by example. So we had a wedding promotion every fall. Al Shoes is the sponsor of it because we have bridal shops like Renzi and Jesse. We have Giovanni Tuxedo Shop.
Yep.
We have DeSoto Jewelry. We have a photography there, Brass Frog.
Right.
I'm like,
yep, that's natural.
Look, we have a lot of diversity when it comes to restaurants.
Yes.
And there's different ways to promote that. But I'm a retailer involved with bridal and groom shoes. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sponsor where I believe is the so we have different years. Over the years, I've been on the board 14 years. We've had different ways of doing it. We had bridal shows. Mm-hmm. We've had bridal campaigns. We had actually a thing where you go to each business and get stamped to show, because going to a booth and seeing someone's table is a lot different than going to my store and seeing 500,000 shoes.
Exactly. Or
you get a feel for the store. So what we would do is if you went to half the businesses, we gave prizes out.
That's nice. That was a smart move.
So I said, look, I feel like being the downtown chairperson, I don't always have to have events on the avenue to promote the downtown and get people to spend money downtown. If I have a golf tournament at Eastland, because Al Shoes was the first golf tournament at the new Eastland, and we had it to capacity.
That's super.
And I had people staying in hotel rooms, eating downtown Vineland. The people spend the money and they come visit Vineland.
Yeah, that's what tourism's all about, and getting them here.
So with this thing, we're having Jerry Spall's kids are Leah Spall is coming from Arizona.
Wow.
I'm having people come. Patty Robbins lives in South Carolina now.
Oh, does she? Wow.
She's coming up.
That's great.
A guy tried to come from California last year, but Eddie Parks, his parents own Mary's Hallmark.
Oh yes, I like.
But he couldn't. But he was trying to come from California. If work would have let him, he would have came. So when people come to Dolphin Pool that night, if we get over 300 people, there's after parties that benefit the local restaurants. People are staying at hotels. They're eating at the restaurant. They're going to the bakeries, and they're spending that money in town. So I feel like you don't always have to have an event downtown to benefit downtown.
No, you're right. Drawing tourism in, it helps the downtown immensely. The wedding on the Avenue is the 114.
It's November. It's basically
1st.
We're basically after COVID we made it a promotion.
November 1st.
We do like a blitz of different advertising to show people that you could come downtown for your wedding needs.
Right. Gotcha.
And I think the swim thing, because I coached at Dolphin, I coached at the Y, I coached a couple months at the high school. I had the connection to get all these people together. So, but there is downtown events.
Sure is. Coming up August 21st is one of the big ones. It draws about 10,000 people. It's the
Food Truck Festival is at Boulevard in Landis on a Sunday. We close that area of Landis Avenue down, and there's over 20 food trucks. We have all kind of non-food vendors also. It's very vibrant, all different foods. And, Sunday is a good time to close the avenue because you're not hurting a business like me.
Right. Yeah.
Where a lot of my customers come from the foot doctor, they're in pain. They like to park out front.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have an event on Landis and the Boulevard on a Sunday in August, you're not hurting a lot of people, and you're benefiting a lot of people.
Yes, exactly.
So this is one of our biggest projects, is the food trucks. I would say that our biggest money maker is the Taste of Vineland. The last Wednesday of October at Eastland every year is probably our marquee.
Oh, yeah.
That's our number one fundraiser, because each board member is supposed to buy a table.
Uh-huh.
So there's 9 board members times 10. That's 90 people right there.
Right. That's great.
And then a lot of the politicians come support us, and people from the community.
Yeah.
So we get over 200 people.
Yeah, that's super.
And what we do is we get independent restaurants. They bring their signature dish, and there's like 15 to 20 restaurants and bakeries. Jim Main's comes, and Crust and Crumbs, and we basically, you want to go around and you try people's food out. And I had friends that I grew up with, Albert and Kim Dinavelis. They're like, oh, we started going to these downtown restaurants, the ethnic restaurants, Cura for the sushi, and we have an Indian restaurant now next door to Cura. And I mean, if you go to downtown Vineland, anywhere between Delsey to East Avenue, you're going to see a couple Chinese restaurants. You're going to see a Jamaican restaurant. You're going to see Puerto Rican restaurants. I mean, talking about diverse, Mexican restaurants.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And we're beautifying the avenue with all these murals.
Yes, that's true. That's really nice.
We did a military one, all the branches of the military.
Yep.
And my dad being in the Army, I'm very proud of that one.
That's wonderful.
And we have a healthy food one, because, you know, Vineland's known for farming.
Vegan, yeah.
So next to the vegan restaurant, it's all healthy foods on the wall.
Nice.
You know, my business is doing well, and I think Mayor Fernucci is leading the city in a positive direction.
I agree.
You know, Ron's Texaco got knocked down, and there's a Dunkin' Donuts at Dante and
Lincoln.
Elmer,
Yeah.
and that area could be improved on.
Yep.
And I think Cumberland County has a lot to look forward to. We can be positive, and we can make things happen.
Yep. And Vineland, the city of Vineland, provides almost half of the ratables for the entire county of Cumberland. And as you talked about growth, what a phenomenal job the city has done from Orchard Road out to Route 55.
The industrial park
the new
keeps
Wawa.
it.
Yeah, the industrial park does too.
We keep buying land to make
Yep.
the industrial park bigger.
We're running out of land. That's how successful it's been. But there's some land on Delsey Drive that's close to Garden Road. And the key is, as Sandy Forsiski said, we're about 30 minutes from Walt Whitman Bridge.
We're a good location.
Absolutely.
We have Philadelphia,
Yep.
Atlantic City,
Yep.
New York City,
Yep.
Baltimore, Washington, D.C.
Yep.
And these companies know we're in a good spot.
Yeah. Yep.
Because South Jersey has access to major cities.
Yeah.
With big population, and I think that's why the industrial park is doing really well.
It really is.
And it helps my business out, because I would say, besides the foot doctor business, the work boot business from the industrial park has been tremendous for me.
Boy, I'd say every time Ray Kronk and I are friends and we share Phillies tickets, every time I go up drop tickets off to him, I'm going like, wow, this industrial park is amazing. It is filled to the brim, and a lot of activity, a lot of cars, a lot of people, and it's a wonderful thing. And that's what's, you're right, Brian, what's helped, I guess it would be West Landis Avenue, out where the hotels are and the Ramada and the restaurant.
I mean, remember it used to be you pull it, and
that's right.
It was now we have ShopRite, we got Walmart, we got a Super Wawa.
Yes, exactly.
We
and
got
the hotels, the Hampton. You got
Really vibrant there.
Yeah, it really is. And that's where the tourism for the hotels, a lot of them are out that way as well. So as soon as you come into Vineland from the east side of Route 55, all the way through Landis Avenue, and one of the things that I love is November 26th on Landis Avenue is the Christmas parade. I'll tell you what, Vineland,
we get a lot of people for the Christmas parade. It's it's the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Yes, right.
And
they just do a wonderful job, and Santa goes up and touches the lights, and the lights go on.
It's actually my block.
Yes, it is, right, in the 600 block.
Yeah.
And the neat thing, too, Brian, that Josie and
Josie Spinelli and Paul
have put together is the December
old-fashioned
2nd,
Christmas.
Right, 2nd and 3rd of December. And this year, it's exciting from what they tell me, is that the lights that are red and green are going to become white, which will be wonderful. You talk about making downtown Vineland classy. I mean, you're going
well, what the goal is to make it year-round.
That's what I'm saying, the white
for
lights.
safety issue with white lights, and then you don't have to take them off every year.
Right, exactly.
They'll leave the lights, they could turn red and green, then in the off seasons, they could be white and people feel safer.
Well, and not only that, Brian, I've always found it to be classier. Like when I was mayor of Miller, I wanted to try to put white lights in the trees, but we didn't own the poles to get
But it's a safety issue, too. It looks good.
It does.
And it makes people feel safer.
You're so right, Brian. Absolutely. To light up the areas where you have problems helps a lot because the criminals and the crooks don't like lights.
Well, the way I did the swim event, it was the way Josie did the old-fashioned Christmas. She put her heart and soul into it, and I'm on the committee, but I'm a part-time supporter. You got
a lot more going on too, buddy.
Yeah, so I just put I just put a little input, but Josie and Paul do a really good job with that. Now you mentioned Ray Cronk. His wife, Katie, is going to help out with the 50-50.
Oh, that's super.
Because her brother, Travis, is in the military. Him and his wife, China, both swam for the local teams and swam for Vineland High.
That's neat. Now, I thought the Homiacs just did wrestling and field hockey.
No, Travis Homiak was a good swimmer for Vineland in the 80s. And Travis's mother-in-law has actually changed my life. His mother-in-law... Basically, when I graduated college, the class officers from Class 93 Vineland didn't want to hold the money because we raised $3,000 while my class was in school. And the school didn't want to hold the money anymore. But I guess because of my swimming history, she's like, Brian, you're not an officer, but we want you to be in charge of your reunions. And hold the money, and that made me a leader in the community at an early age. Because I'm running class reunions in my 20s.
Wow.
And a guy I graduated with, his mom was in charge of Heritage House.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I know.
Henrietta Spinato when they were open.
Right.
So I had the first two. This was before Eastland was built.
Yes, right.
So I had the first two class reunions at Heritage House and the second two at Eastland. And I'm pretty proud being in charge of our class because I think we're the second class to have a class scholarship for a Vineland senior.
Oh, that's fabulous.
We copied class of '83.
That's
to
great.
give them credit, but
So next year's your 30th reunion.
Yeah, at Eastland, and I told my class, I'm like, look, if you guys want to represent, get a good number. Let's get over 100 people. We'll keep it just my class. Because I am becoming friendly of class 92 and class 94, where eventually we might have to do them together. But right now my class is pretty prideful. They want to just have our class. I'm like, well, you better give me over 100 people easily.
Yeah, that's true.
We had over 550 people.
Yeah, I was going to say, and with your enthusiasm, I don't think that'll be a hard time.
Yeah, I've had over 100 people each time.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Because of my swim connections, I got to be in charge of my class reunions.
Yeah.
And my dad always wanted to be, he was class of 57. He would always have to go to his class reunions on Friday and then work on Saturday.
Yeah.
Where I have class reunions on Saturday, I'm off on Sunday.
That's good.
So
yeah,
my class reunions will always be on a Saturday.
Well, I like that too. Saturdays are better for me.
Because more people are off on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. And more people are, off so they can get ready to go Saturday evening anyway to an event. Yeah. I know some have extended it. They have a Friday night casual, then they have a Saturday, which is fine.
It's cheaper on Friday.
Yeah, Right, but it's still, to me,
Saturday's the marquee.
I agree with you.
It's the marquee day. That's why the places charge more for Saturday.
Sure. Yeah, it's understandable. But you'll have some great food at Eastland, that's for sure.
You know, Rob Bono,
he's a great chef.
know, after they sold Edom Foods, he bought Eastland from Tom Gagliotti.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And you know, basically, it was a hot dog stand.
Yeah,
go in,
right. Yep.
And,
but I like the food, but
and,
it was.
You know,
it wasn't,
you can even have small weddings in there, like 20, 30 people. But Rob had a vision.
Yeah, he sure did. Beautiful.
And he knocked it down. He got rid of the driving range.
Yeah.
And now he has beautiful weddings.
Yep.
He's got a beautiful restaurant with a bar. And you know what's funny? My last reunion, Mike Trout had a table of like 20 people in the front patio. So everyone was walking by like, oh my God, there's Mike Trout and his group of people. So, you know, I met Mike's parents at the store getting ready for Mike's wedding. I mean, just
Jeff
great.
Yeah.
You know what? He said he taught with Ron Vinnick.
Yeah.
So I said, what's your name? He said, Jeff Trout. I said, oh, my God. It's, you know, but they were down to earth.
Yeah, they're great.
They were so easy to wait on.
Yeah,
And
just really nice people.
I showed him, I had a couple posters of Mike, and you know, because he's from Millville.
But he was born in Vineland.
He's born in Newcomb Hospital.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a Cumberland pride thing.
Yeah,
Mike
sure
Trout.
is.
He's South Jersey treasure.
When I put together the 75 seats for the suite, I had more people from Vineland and several from
It's
the
Cumberland
inside.
County pride.
Exactly
with him.
right. Yeah,
you know,
it really is. Yeah.
He is such a gentleman,
Yeah.
and his personality is so South Jersey.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know,
it really is. Laid back.
you know, MLB wants him to be more flamboyant.
Yeah, but that's not him.
But he's being true to himself.
Exactly.
Some people will do it for the social media.
Yeah.
But he's just down to earth.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm proud to say that I'm from Cumberland County, and I met his parents. That's how proud I am of him, because he might go down as a top 5 player of all time.
Yeah, probably will, Brian. Well, I got to tell you something. I'm very proud of you. I mean, I haven't known you that long, but boy, your passion for helping people, for all of the donations, and for running this alumni event here at Dolphin Swim Club, you have that drive, and I really admire that. I didn't have the honor of knowing your dad and your mom, but they certainly raised a wonderful son and gave you that direction that you needed. Man, you're amazing. What you do for
I
the
have
city.
a lot of energy, and you know, like,
well, that's good.
You know,
into helping people.
I go big, you know, and I think when my friends wanted to make the Shooter Nation public, I think they had a feeling. I know Cara Vivarelli. She's like, Brian, once you do something, you always make it bigger. And you know, I can't believe I have over 300 donors. I have a sock sponsor in Bombas.
Wow.
I got a huge volunteer base. I mean, my 2 biggest volunteers are Debbie Eisinger from Violent Soup Kitchen and Spirit and Truth, and Carol Bassetti from Bassetti Photo.
Right, yes.
St. Vincent de Paul. But I have so many Veterans Home and City Avenue in Bridgeton. You know, I have a big volunteer base.
Yeah.
Lori Pepper from St. Isidore's and Carlos Mercado, who you know.
Absolutely.
They get the kids to help me.
That's great.
You know, Mayor Fanucci, if I need the city workers to come, they'll come. Yeah, it's just amazing how the Shooter Nation turns into having, like, Mike DePalma, brother and father, was in the first class. I honored Ryan Ploch's brother was in the first class, and now I'm swimming against them for Ryan's brother's charity. It's kind of, you know, we're honoring Jerry Spall, and Lisa, the youngest daughter, and the second oldest is class of 92. There's just a lot of connections.
That is wonderful. Brian, thank you, buddy, for being on, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the 12th.
It went great and fast.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we had practice. We had a little practice yesterday.
Yeah.
Anyway, Brian Lankin, the man putting together everything, and it's the Dolphin Swim and Athletic Club Alumni Swim Benefit. Friday, August 12th, we'll be televising it live. So in case you're not in the area, you can watch it on Facebook or YouTube, or if you're locally, you can watch it on Channel 22.
Or if it's too hot, like last year it was a hot day, a lot of elderly people watch from home.
Yeah, and it's always on Channel 22 as well. So for Brian Lankin, I'm Jim Quinn. Thanks to George Cuchilla for producing the program today, and Brian will see you on August 12th. Take care, folks. Good night.
You know what? This has been a QBC television production in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22 and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.